As a part of our 2008 vacation in Scotland, we decided to explore some of the places where they shot one of our favorite television series, Monarch of the Glen. We came down from the Highland Mountains in the north and checked into a B&B in Aviemore, where we spent 2 nights. From the regular Aviemore train station, you can catch the Strathspey steam rail and take a pleasure trip that lasts a couple of hours, making 2 stops. The man who sold us our tickets had worked as an extra on the show. So what did you do on the show? Work at the station kind of thing?
Yeah, I was at the station, but always in the background.
The last stop is the place where they used for the Glen train station in the Monarch series. The real name of the place is Broom Hill, but you'll see that they still have all the Glen signs still up. We enjoyed trading the tight spaces of the car for the lurching of the train. Got to get yourself a dose of romance, steam trains, and doing the right thing, right?
From all chemists.
Our next adventure was to trade the old-fashioned train for something more modern and take the tram to the top of the Cairngorm Mountain. But we stopped along the way at the Lochmorley Water Sports Center and checked it out. We wanted to get as close as we could to the snow-topped peak we'd seen out the window of our B&B. They told us that the winds were so severe on the side of this mountain that the tram had to go through a tunnel or it could get blown off.
And Dottrell. And let's not forget the ptarmigan, a bird that is so much part of the Cairngorm environment that we have named our own brand of whisky after it. Add to these the army of small insects, some hardly visible, but all playing their part in creating a delicate ecological balance. Mental law. And we
Also want to think books, you need to make your way up to level 4, restaurant level.
At the top of this tram, there's a gift shop, a restaurant, and this observation deck. Despite how severe the weather is, they said they found prehistoric dwellings up here, like a hunting lodge. After leaving the mountain, we went to look for some more Monarch sites along this lovely one-lane B road. One of these sites was Loch an Eileen, which is on the Rothiemurchus estate. On an episode of the Monarch show, Archie and Katrina had this little romantic adventure where they spent the night in a broken-down truck, and the next day took a boat across to this island while she was trying to unravel a mystery of her past. So this is Loch an Eileen. We checked out the bathrooms and the gift shop, where a lot of people were buying some ice cream. On the bridge at Fishy Bridge. is Ruthven Barracks. First, there was an ancient castle on this site. Then, just before the Jacobite War, the English took it over and made a barracks here. In the middle of the war, some of the people came here to rally after Culloden to defend Bonnie Prince Charlie. So once it had gone over to the other side, the English ended up burning it down. This is Kingussie, where we actually ate our first night we stayed in Abbeymoor. In the middle of town, there's a place that they used as the council building when Katrina was a member of the council on the Monarch of the Glen show. The next day we headed out of town, taking the highway south along the River Spey towards Logan.
Now look at all these workers doing their best down here.
We stopped in Newtonmore to visit the Clan McPherson Museum.
Oh, that's that museum there.
We got the idea to stop because we'd heard this had once been used as the Glen Bogle post office and tea rooms. But the truth is, this is one of the nicest clan museums anywhere. The McPhersons have an impressive history, including one of them being in charge of Bonnie Prince Charlie's gold after the Battle of Culloden. So when the prince fled to France and said to divide his money up among the poor widows of the Highlands, the English hounded and hounded this particular McPherson, hoping he would lead them to the gold. He hid in caves and things, and they never caught him. Most of what we saw of the village of Logan were the signs for Logan. We didn't see much of the village.
Apparently so. I didn't even see the sign.
Freaky skate office. Right on this big logo. And I'm gonna mail my letters right here. Just as you reach Loch Logan, you'll see the estate office on one side of the road, and then the gatehouse for the Ardvariki estate. The estate rents the gatehouse like a B&B, and they take reservations on the web, but it's usually booked up for about a year in advance. Technically, Scotland doesn't have traditional trespassing laws. They feel like people ought to be able to walk from one location to another across any piece of land. But this estate is a private residence, and they really don't like people coming up to the house.
Way up over there.
Ardvariki House, which is the castle used in Monarch of the Glen, sits in the middle of Loch Logan. Of course, in British countries, something they do is they try to keep the drivers from being distracted by beautiful views by letting a lot of shrubs grow up on the side of the road so that you can't look across and be distracted. So trying to see the house is a little difficult. We pulled over at 5 or 6 different little single-car pullouts and took pictures. There was only one that was completely unobstructed, and maybe some of my favorite photos are for some of the ones that have a few leaves coming into the pictures. Well, we continued on and spent the night in Fort William, but that's all for now, folks.